Good afternoon and welcome to today's webinar on optimizing hydraulic performance for demanding mining conditions, hosted on behalf of Donaldson, the largest provider of unique filtration technologies and high-quality filters and parts. My name is Shannon de Rehove. Before we get started, please note the chat and the Q&A are available to you. Please post your questions into the Q&A and your comments in the chat. Both the Q&A and the chat are at the bottom of your screen. Please also be aware that we're recording this webinar and we'll send the recording to you when it's available. We're also streaming the webinar live on YouTube. Today's panel will focus on how to protect hydraulic systems in harsh mining environments. They will show you how advanced filtration can extend equipment life, reduce downtime, and ensure consistent performance. The speakers discussing this topic include Donaldson Filtration Hydraulic Product Manager Bernadette van Wyk, Donaldson Filtration MSA Senior Territory Manager for Italy, Greece, Cyprus and Malta, Giordano Trabucco, and FHS Technical Sales Manager, Ernest Heather. So without further ado, I'll hand over now to Giordano Trabucco to start the discussion. Over to you, Giordano.
Thank you very much, Shannon. Let me share. So, welcome everyone. My name is Giordano Trabucco, and today I will be your host for the session. We are very, very excited to bring here the discussion with the expert from our side as the Donaldson and from the distributor side, which is Filter House Solution. Together we'll explore how advanced hydraulic filtration technology and strong strategic partnership can significantly reduce equipment downtime, boost reliability in mining environment. So let's get started with the people that today we're gonna help us, me, to share all these topics. So first of all, let me introduce Bernadette van Wyk. She's my colleague. She's has over 25 years experience in engineering, product management, and sales. Bernadette is a seasoned hydraulic product manager for the EMEA region and Donaldson Filtration. She drives innovation and excellence in filtration solution, delivering high-performance products that minimize equipment downtime, optimize customer operation, and create value for the customer and the stakeholders. Let me introduce our partner, Ernest Heather from FHS, a seasoned professional with over 20 years experience in heavy-duty earth-moving equipment for the mining and construction sector. He spent 24 years at Battleworld Equipment, excelling in operation sales and after-sales services. Since 2020, he has been technical sales manager at FHS, part of the Giordano Group, focusing on a reliable customer-driven solution. Let me introduce a little bit more about myself. I am Giordano Trabucco, Senior Territory Manager for Mobile Solution Aftermarket in Donaldson, and I'm responsible for Greece, Malta, and Cyprus. I played a key role in the growing Donaldson aftermarket business through digital initiatives, customer strategies, and market expansion. I've been with Donaldson for several years now, 7 in particular, and I have had the privilege of seeing firsthand the impact in the right filtration technology in operational efficiency and sustainability. Our goal today is to give you the knowledge you need to maximize your own operations, supported by effective filtration that improve your TCO, your total cost of ownership. Let me introduce right now something regarding our company as a Donaldson. Donaldson is a worldwide company, and our purpose is advanced filtration for a cleaner world. In Donaldson, we are really, really committed to develop advanced filtration technology that reduce emissions, protect the environment, and support the cleaner air, water, and process globally. Our R&D efforts are focused on solving complex filtration challenges across industries, many industries, not only heavy-duty equipment, but life science also. Secondly, protecting people and critical equipment by providing high-performance filtration systems. We help to protect both people and health and the machinery that depends on. Whatever industrial plants, vehicles, or clean rooms, our solution improves safety, efficiency, and sustainability. Third, so Donaldson purpose goes beyond product development. It's about partnering with our customer to drive long-term value and reduce environmental impact. Our global presence enables tailored solutions that meet diverse filtration needs, contributing to a cleaner, healthier world. Here, where Donaldson can make the difference. We are a global company. We have a very global footprint with all production plants all over the world, but we have local touch. Let me explain a little bit better what we mean for global reach, local touch. So we have a worldwide presence. As Donaldson, we operate across multiple continents, ensuring seamless access to high-quality aftermarket filtration solution. We have a very strong distribution network, a robust supply chain that guarantees timely product availability in the key market when the filters are needed, and industry-leading innovation. Global R&D centers provide the right filters where are needed in different markets that we are operating. The local touch, where the people make the difference. So the regional expertise, we have local teams that understand unique market demands, providing tailored solutions for different industries. Dedicated customer support, experts are on hand to offer real-time assistance, ensuring optimal product applications. Customized offering, solution designed to address local regulatory requirements and operational challenges. So the competitive advantages that Donaldson has combining global reach and local touch, so the reliability and trust, a balance between global capability and local services, foster long-term customer relationship. The scalability, ability to support business at all sites, small, medium, big size, from different kind of sector, in particular mining sites where we are focusing today. Proven track record, so a legacy that of excellence in aftermarket filtration with personalized services. What Donaldson does to help hydraulic challenges, because we all know that we are facing hydraulic challenges while we are working on field together with you. So quality filters reduce wear and extend service interval. First of all, we need to be clear on that. Reduce equipment downtime. So the impact of filtration, low quality or clogged filters restrict fluid flow, leading to overheating, excessive wear, and ultimately component failure. So we have financial consequences. Every hour of downtime can result in 1,000 in lost productivity, affecting overall profitability. Contamination control, filtration system cleanliness. Poor filtration allows dirty water and metal particles to compromise the ISO cleanliness standard, which are required from the machine producer, to let the machine works properly. Long-term protection, investing in high quality filtration, improve the machine reliability and extends lifespan. High maintenance cost, wear and tear reduction. Substandard filters fail to capture contaminants effectively, causing premature and shortening service interval. Costly replacement, frequent filter swaps, excessive oil change, and emergency repairs increase operation expense. Our goal today is to share practical, actionable insights, not just theory from technical side, experiences from our partner, but we explore how to optimize hydraulic filtration technology and how to improve the total cost of ownership in the working site. Let me say something more about Donaldson and what we're doing for hydraulics specifically. As you see here on my screen, there are several brands that are easily recognizable from you on the filter that you have installed on your machines. All those brands are owned by Donaldson. Duramax, one of the filters that you know more, the orange one. And even other Syntex XP, right now it's best in class filter media that you can find in the market. And Alpha Web, another technology that Bernadette will talk about with. To get you some metrics, some numbers regarding Donaldson and what Donaldson is doing for invest. So we invest more than 69 million of our dollars in R&D. So part of our turnover is always invest on R&D to grant the best solution in the market. We have more than 2,700 active patents in the market, and we have more than 50-year experiences in hydraulic filtration. Saying that, I would like you to underline something here. We have one, I'm working in Italy, I live in Italy, where we have one of the excellence of the production plant for hydraulic for Donaldson. In our production plant, we have a very high level of automation and precision and efficiency. So Donaldson hydraulic plants leverage advanced automation technologies, including robotic handling, real-time quality monitoring. Every piece is controlled by data and automated assembly lines to ensure consistency, reduce the human error, and optimize to root cross production. The clean room. So to meet demanding cleanliness requirements of hydraulic systems, Donaldson maintain control, environment, and cleanliness particles in the production line. So this, what does it mean? It means that we minimize particulate contamination and ensures components meet or exceed ISO cleanliness requirements. I finished my part right now, and I would like to get the floor to Bernadette, which is now sharing her part.
Thank you so much, Giordano, for that insightful introduction. What I will be discussing now is basically how to optimize hydraulic performance within the mining environment. So we have an inherent understanding when we're speaking about hydraulics that it requires brute force. So brute force requires hydraulic power. In terms of hydraulics, what we've seen in modern hydraulic systems is that our pressures can go up to about 450 bar, which translates into more force as well as more power, which means that we require greater efficiency and control when we are basically picking up heavy loads. Herein lies the challenge. So with high pressure fluid pathways that we see in modern hydraulic systems, our tolerances have become tighter and tighter. Also with the high pressures, what we see is that our machines have become more compact as well as more complex, which translates into more expensive machines. These expensive machines are operating in the mining environment, and we know the mining environment has one of the harshest environments out there. Our machines are spending the entire day basically ingesting loads of dust, ingesting loads of dirt, and another enemy we face is moisture. And we know how detrimental moisture can be to anything in its path. So moisture costs or leads to costly breakdowns. And we know within the mining environment, equipment availability is critical to production uptime because any unplanned maintenance is a significant inconvenience and costs a lot of money. So when we're speaking about costs, do you know that it costs more to take dirt out of a machine versus the cost of keeping dirt from getting into the machine in the first place? So as an example, if we experience a hydraulic failure, let's take 1/10 of that cost. That is the price that you will pay to basically install proper filtration up front. So 90% of the cost of a breakdown could have been avoided in the first place. Now, we know that breakdowns cost money. What we also know is that in order to save money, we need to install proper filtration up front so that we can lower the total cost of component replacement. So speaking about component replacement, there's a study that shows that 70% of all hydraulic component replacement is due to surface degradation. And the reason the degradation is taking place is because we have contaminant in the form of particulate, moisture, dirt within our fluid. We know that contamination causes hydraulic failures, but more specifically, it is unchecked dirt and particulate within the system that causes hydraulic failures. So whether or not this is solid particles, whether it's moisture, whether it's air, it results in continuous degradation. I'm going to touch a little bit on how poor maintenance practices in terms of our breathers leads to fluid degradation. So we know that our breathers are one of the most important parts of our hydraulic system, but it is also one of the most neglected parts of the hydraulic system. So when a breather becomes plugged or blocked, what it does not allow any moisture out of the system when our temperatures swing up and down. So that trapped moisture basically degrades our fluid. This degraded fluid then goes to our components and basically damages our machine parts. Another way that we see continuous degradation taking place is due to inefficient filtration. So if you install a spin-on or a cartridge filter that is inefficient, you are basically allowing damaging particles to run rampant within your hydraulic system. These particles damage your seals, your valves, your cylinders, and basically anything the fluid touches. But the one thing that I need to mention that is exceptionally important when we speak about fluid cleanliness is what we call incoming cleanliness. So incoming cleanliness basically tells you how clean is your fluid when you are dispensing it into your machine or into your storage tanks. So when you measure the cleanliness of the fluid itself, you will find that it is significantly more dirty than what is recommended by your equipment manufacturers. And the reason this occurs is because during the bulk transfer process, when you are moving fluid from A to B to C, what it does is it collects dirt, it collects moisture, it collects debris. And basically, when you're transferring this into your storage tank in your workshop, you are compounding dirt upon dirt. So let us just reflect on this just for a minute. How often have you actually seen a filtration system on the outlet of your storage tank? Not very often. What does this do to our machines? Let us now take a sample out of this tank that we are speaking about, our storage tank. We've got a clear sample bottle and we're looking at our sample in the sample bottle. There is a misconception that if the sample looks clean, that it is indeed clean, and this is not the case. In reality, you need a microscopic count of the particles, the number of particles, as well as the size of the particles within that sample to tell you what the fluid cleanliness is. Why is that so important? I mentioned earlier that our tolerances have become tighter within our hydraulic system, and the smallest particle can be detrimental to the components in our machines. But Bernadette, what do you mean by small? So the lower level of visibility, basically what we can see with the naked eye, is about 14 micron. The particles that damage a hydraulic system lie between the size of talcum powder as well as white blood cells. This is 2 to 4 times smaller than what we can see with the naked eye. Now, I understand that there are sensitive components such as our pilot valves, where even the size of bacteria can damage those components. So how do we remove these damaging components from our hydraulic system? And this is with high efficient replacement filters. So when you are replacing an OE filter with a high efficiency replacement filter, you need to ensure that it meets or it exceeds the OE performance. And the reason is because OE spec the fluid cleanliness requirements for the components on that specific machine. What is also important when you are replacing an OE filter, I can also state when you are comparing two filters is what we call the beta ratio. The beta ratio basically, the higher the beta ratios, the higher the beta ratio, the more efficient the filter is. So there is a common misconception. As an example, if I take a 10 micron filter, the common misconception is that that filter stops all the 10 micron particles, and that is not the case. This is where beta ratio comes into play. So as an example, if I have a 10 micron beta 2 filter, that basically tells me that this filter is 50% efficient. So it stops 50% of the particles, but it's also letting 50% of the particles through. Now, let me take a 10 micron beta 1000 filter. That is 99.9% efficient. And it basically translates into cleaner fluid, longer longevity of your components, as well as greater machine health. Now, we know that the beta ratio is a standard that has been used in the industry for many years. The way the efficiency is calculated in the lab to determine your beta ratio is basically utilizing steady state flow. So there's no flow variations in the lab. There is now a new test method that uses cyclic flow. And the filtration efficiency, according to this new test method, is what we call the alpha ratio. For this reason, Donaldson has engineered a new media to meet this new test method, and we call it the AlphaWeb media. Our AlphaWeb media is a patented Donaldson invention. It is new technology. It performs in real-world dynamic conditions. It takes into consideration vibrations, flow variations, as well as pressure pulses within the hydraulic system. It traps and it locks the particles, which means that we have increased particle retention, high efficiency in standard as well as cyclic flow application, and it provides 4 times cleaner oil to your system. Apologies, it looks like my slide is stuck. I'm just trying to get it to the next slide. Shannon, it looks like my slides are stuck. I would appreciate it if you could please move it to the next slide for me.
Is that the right slide? Can you see that?
Exactly.
Bernadette?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shannon. It is the right slide. So if we think about us providing 4 times cleaner fluid to the system, you can click through, Shannon. It means that we can extend our component life by 60%. It also means that we can reduce our maintenance costs as well as our warranty claims. This in turn means that we are providing value to our end user. Next slide. In terms of the value that we provide to our end users, what happens when we provide high efficiency filtration, and the benefits to the high efficiency filtration can be demonstrated in a complex excavate challenge that we've received from a mine. So we were approached by a mine as Donaldson that had multiple sites. On the sites, they had multiple machines where they were experiencing the same issues. The issues they were experiencing was shorter swing motor life, also premature pump failures. In terms of the fluid cleanliness levels, they were looking at high ISO codes in the levels of 21 to 23. So we know with ISO codes, the higher the ISO code, the dirtier the fluid. They reported MPC values in excess of 50. Now with MPC, it's preferable that your MPC values are in the lower single-digit range. MPC test basically tells you the amount of insoluble contaminant within the oil that contributes to the buildup of varnish. And we know any varnish in the system could lead to anything sticking. Another issue that they were experiencing on site is that they were changing out the OE filters every 500 hours. They were also experiencing daily contamination alarms. And basically within a hydraulic system, if the hydraulic alarms are tripping, it means that our sensors are fouling. So at the end of the shift, you found that your electrical as well as your hydraulic teams needed to check the sensors, strip it, clean it, and then refit the sensors. What is important that I need to mention as well, on each machine, on site, they had an offline filtration system with very expensive OE elements. Next slide, Shannon. So this is the solution that we provided as Donaldson, and it's high efficiency filtration. So the OE part was a 10 micron beta 2, which means that it was 50% efficient. We proposed two filters. The first one is a 10 micron beta 1000 filter, and the second one was a 10 micron beta 4000 filter. Now, across the multiple sites, there were two different types of oil that we were using, or they were using. It was a 46 center stroke oil, as well as a 68 center stroke oil. We did not use the beta 4000 on the 68 center stroke oil because it would have been too fine. But what we did with the beta 4000 filter, once we had gone through 2 to 3 services on the beta 1000 filter, we then switched over to the beta 4000 filter. Next slide. And this is the value that we added to the customer. So on the beta 1000 filter, we reduced the site cleanliness from 23 down to 18, 16, 13. We were now aligning the main pump as well as the swing motors midlife to the 12,000 mark. Previously, it was failing between 6,000 and 10,000 hours. On the sites that we installed the beta 4000 filter, we reduced the cleanliness down to 16, 14, 11. And on some sites, it actually reported down to as low as 12, 10, and 9. Our MPCs, as required, dropped down to the single-digit range to as low as 2.6. And we extended the element change-out intervals to 1,000. Next slide, please. So now we have shown you what the benefits are to high efficiency filtration and the importance of quality hydraulic filtration. Basically, what it does is it eliminates foreign particles or contaminants within your system, which in turn provides better productivity and efficiency, which lowers your maintenance cost, extends your component life, and enhances the life of your hydraulic system. What you are looking at right now is TCO. It is the total cost of ownership. Next slide. So the key takeaways. In today's industries, we find that our machines are very complex, which means they are very expensive. They have tight tolerances, so greater contamination control is required because they're operating in environments that are extremely dirty. For this reason, we need to ensure that we're keeping contaminants out of our machines with filters that meet or exceed OE specifications. And by providing these high efficiency filters, it means that we are lowering the total cost of ownership overall for our end users. And with that being said, I'm going to hand over to FHS.
Thank you very much, Bernadette, for that introduction. And yeah, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, from wherever you are looking at. It's as they introduced, my name is Ernest Heather, and I'm the technical sales manager at FHS. I think just to, it's an honor for me to be on this webinar today, focusing on the optimizing hydraulic performance in mining. I'll be sharing a brief practical insight from the front lines, how we as a distributor brings Donaldson's innovation into real-world mining environments to protect hydraulic systems, reduce downtime, and improve reliability, exactly what Bernadette has just explained. Now, just before I dive into today's topics, let me just give you a quick...
Sorry, yes. Quickly before you carry on, I think your screen is not sharing correctly. Can you try again? And then otherwise I can share from my side.
Okay. Share that again.
Thank you.
Is it there?
It looks like it's still trying.
Okay, it says, oops, something went wrong. Just stop sharing again. Share.
Still seems to be a bit of a challenge. Would you like me to share from my side again?
Yes, you can if you want on.
There we go. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see, it's not here yet. Somehow I cannot see that screen.
Oh dear. I'll just quickly change to the next.
Great, there we go. That's fine. Perfect. There we go. Hundreds. All right, you can skip to the next slide for me. Right, so let's just start off where I stopped. So before I dive into the next topic, let me just give you a quick perspective on who we are. So FHS is not just a filtration supplier. We're an expert-driven solutions provider with over 2 years of combined team experience. Our strength lies in combining high-quality products with practical, technical expertise to solve real-world problems in the field. We focus on delivering the right products on time, every time, while helping customers extend component life, improving equipment performance, and reduce long-term operating costs. At FHS, we don't believe that one size fits all. We engineer filtration strategies around each customer's environment, the equipment, and operational priorities, because that's what truly protects uptime. And finally, our metal fabrication division expands that possibilities. Whether it's clean head ducting, custom modifications, or full exhaust system that meet or exceed OEM specs, we build to need. We build to need with the technical capacity others simply won't offer. And FH is more about filtration. It is a system built around your uptime. Next slide, please, Shannon. That's the slide I've just basically gone through. If you just skip to the next slide. All right, so between 1985, I'll just give you a brief history of FHS. So between 1985 and 2004, 3 Donaldson distributors operated independently across the region. Towards the end of that period, we established our exhaust manufacturing division, laying the foundation for future integration. In 2005, those 3 distributors joined, which formed FHS as we now know it today. By 2009, we moved into our purpose-built 5,000 square meter facility, our head office and warehouse, which remains our central hub that we operate from today. In 2010, FHS became part of the Dacre Industries, a JSE-listed company specializing in high-quality branded engineering consumable products. We launched our industrial filtration division in 2018, expanding our offering beyond mobile applications. In 2020, we further grew our capabilities by relocating our exhaust manufacturing division into a 2,500 square meter dedicated facility. Most recently, we just opened our Lephalale branch, strengthening our footprint to better support our customers in the Waterberg mining region. Thank you, Shannon. You can skip to the next slide. So what makes FHS truly efficient is our integrated operating model. Our sales, technical support, warehouse, and manufacturing teams all work in sync. We believe that we should not work in silos. From customer-facing representative and key account managers to supply chain, finance and compliance, every function is aligned with one goal: delivering fast, reliable, and customer-centric service. Our warehouse operations handles everything from receiving and kit building to dispatch and delivering using our dedicated FHS fleet, ensuring full control and turnaround. On the manufacturing side, our in-house metal fabrication division supports custom builds and engineering solutions, adding to the technical depth that I mentioned earlier. The structure allows us to deliver constantly across the mining sector where responsiveness, precision, and uptime, as explained, matters most. Thank you. You can change the next slide. I think if you look at ethics and compliance, it's a good practice. We combine internationally recognized best practices with practical execution. That's basically what the slide is saying. Whether it's an installation, audit, or logistics, we follow structured processes to ensure every customer receives consistent, high-quality service every time. Thank you very much. Next slide, please, Shannon. All right, so let's get into the field. After all, that's what we hydraulic systems, as we've just heard from Bernadette, is the beating heart of every piece of mining equipment. When contamination enters the system, it just doesn't reduce performance. It starts a slow, expensive breakdown that ends in component failure and loss in production. In South Africa mining environment, where dust, distance, and duty cycles are extreme, we've seen dirty well what dirty well can do. From seizing pumps, failing valves, and leaking cylinders, it ends up in millions of costs in downtime, lost in downtime. That's why our role goes beyond just supplying filters. As a Donaldson distributor, our main mission is to protect uptime. We engineer clean oil strategies, proactively remove contamination, and ensure hydraulic systems run cleaner, longer, and stronger. Thank you. You can move to the next slide. So you would ask yourself, how would this translate? How do we translate clean oil into real world gains? So in this case, as you can see the customer success story there on your screen, we've partnered with the plant hire business running high-hour machines in severe conditions. By upgrading Donaldson filters that's with the synthetic media, in other words, Syntec, we've achieved lower pressure drop, higher dirt rolling capacity, which allowed to extended service intervals and fewer unplanned shutdowns. You can see there that the component on the standard OEM has basically almost doubled, 83% increase from 12,000 hours to 22,000 hours. Downtime that varied every month from 20 hours upwards was basically reduced to 8 hours, and that was mostly then spent on scheduled maintenance, which that is the fluid lifespan. At the same time, they enabled them to double up on their hydraulic oil. So they also obviously, whilst they increased that time, they condition monitored that and obviously ran scheduled schedules with them. Well cleanliness levels, they changed from 18, 16, 13, and they were stable at 15, 13, 11. So what did we do? We didn't just fill better filters. We monitored oil conditioning using fluid analysis and SOS reporting. This allowed us to align the filter life with actual oil performance, not just hours on the clock. All right, that's the next slide. So on the next, in another case, one of our contract miners implemented a kidney loop filtration card on site and in his workshop. Combined with their oil analysis, they moved from a reactive maintenance to a proactive system, also hitting in 16, 14, 11, and surpassing OEM cleanliness specs. What did that result in? Also fewer failures, better planning, and obviously, best of all, stronger performance. So they then obviously improve the efficiency. Filter changes became proactive, not reactive, eliminating failures and increasing performance at the same time. Next slide, please. I think as the slogan is said there, every liter of clean oil means one less risk of component failure. This illustration that you've just seen on your screen now at the moment is just a typical example of a kidney loop filtration card that was implemented and is available for your specific needs as well. Again, every clean liter of oil is one less risk of failure. That's the truth. We see it again and again. It's been explained over and over. When customers commit to oil cleanliness, we see longer component life, lower cost, and high availability. The next step with this customer is that we are in the process of manufacturing quick coupling service stations that will be rolled out to their fleet of machines to improve the contamination control when either servicing or topping up of oils. An added advantage is that the correct grade of oil will be added either to the component or to the tank, eliminating any risk by the mechanic or maintenance personnel. Again, what does that result to? Another step closer to proactive maintenance. Next slide, please. So to recap, at the core of all this, the results, I think it's critical that it's partnership. With Donaldson, we get unmatched filtration technology. With FHS, you get something equally critical, hands-on, local expertise that makes technology work for your conditions. We don't just drop off filters, we provide full service solutions. It's a combination of global innovation with local execution that drives performance and reliability. Next slide, please, Shannon. So I think if you look at the end, what is the closing thoughts there? We say filtration is an investment. Let me leave you with this. Don't wait for a failure to force or rethink your filtration strategy. By then, damage and the cost is already done. It's too late. Work with partners who understand your site conditions, who can deliver proven technology, and who back it up with data-driven results. Because the truth is, good filtration is not a grudge purchase. It's an investment in uptime, in performance, and ultimately in the profitability of your operation. So if you're ready to reduce your failures, extend your equipment life, and make filtration work harder for your business, let's connect. At FHS, again, we don't just sell filters. We help you run cleaner, longer, and more efficiently. Next slide, please. One more, please. That's it. So for those of you that, I know this has been a very short opportunity. For those of you who would like to connect with me, there's my QR code. We are ready when you are. Scan the code, connect with me, and let's build your oil strategy, your cleaner oil strategy together. Next slide, please. Or if you simply want to visit us, simply scan the QR codes on the direct access to our locations. We've got our head office in Boksburg or our branch in Lephalale. And then you can also reach us via our WhatsApp support lines and explore more on our website. Don't forget to follow us on social platforms. It's best to stay connected with the new solution success stories and industry insights. So I think at this point in time, I would like to say thank you for your time and attention. I welcome any questions. Look forward to engaging with you further. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ernest, for your insightful information that you share based on your experience. Right now, I would like to get the floor again, sharing. Before to move forward now to the Q&A session, which is almost to the end of this session, I would like to finish with you a small part to better let you know how we work as a Donaldson, how to get started in our approach. So, first of all, starting this journey is straightforward but meaningfully. Sustainable improvement is never a quick fix. We've shown today that our approach, built around the phase around data-driven process, is designed for long-term results. I like what Ernest said. Ernest said filtration is not a cost, but it's an investment. So we need to see that for the long term in the future. But before to do that, we need to go to the phase one, which is the validation. This is where we assess your unique operational realities and establish data backend needs, ensuring our solutions are precisely aligned with your environment, because every environment is different and requirements are different, machine on machine, and work inside. Second one, the implementation that we are going to get using the data points gathered that we gather on the field together with our territory managers that are able to reach you and the local site. We roll out tailored improvement plan. This could involve trials or equipment assessment, all aimed providing you with practical, immediate benefits. So we are able to show you with testing in the field how Donaldson can improve the efficiency of your machines. The third phase is the evaluation, so ongoing support and monitoring. Finally, we take responsibility for monitoring the process and the progress that we're going to have, providing consistently updates of the impact of the solution. So, because in the end, what's important is to get under control what we said many times today, the total cost of ownership. And we should be able to provide useful information to manage that. So, last one, we for sure have a commercial support on your site. So our commitment doesn't end with products. We offered a tailored on-site support. If you remember where we start, Donaldson has a local touch with people that can reach the working site or can be reachable by email or phone call to help you out to control your TCO. As we mentioned, we support the customer with all the engineering and technicals. Bernadette, which is here today, is very close to the customer to help them to better understand what are the needs. So now that we had a very full overview of what Donaldson does, what a customer like FHS can do, we would like to open a Q&A session in the time that we still have. We should have 13 minutes before to close our session. And right now, I would like to pick some question from the Q&A. Let me stop sharing. So let's go here. I've seen some Q&A. So let me. So is a good one for Bernadette, maybe. Is there any warranty term? I believe that are referring to the warranty term using Donaldson filter instead of the original brand, and if there are some warranty from our side. So if you can explain this.
Yes, Giordano. So on all our filters, hydraulic as well as our liquid filters, Donaldson backs all our filters with warranty. The warranty clause can be shared through your associated distributor if required when you do purchase a Donaldson filter.
Thank you very much for sharing. So I believe that there is something here in the chat. So if I want, okay, maybe that one. There are some questions that maybe we're going to reply separately, and the territory manager will reach you out to reply to you. But here there is one that maybe it's always or for Bernadette. Do you have filtration system that can be used to efficiently improve to the ISO 4406 on the bulk lubricants from a storage tank? It's a very specific one.
Yes, most definitely. We have our clean fuels solution that we offer through to our distributors. And it has proven that it can reduce the ISO code from your storage tank. So if you require additional information, you can reach out to your distributor in your area.
Very, very cool. I have another one for you from my side, Bernadette. You started saying that we are facing now in the working environment with complex and compact machines that are becoming very popular in the market. As from your side, technical point of view, product management, how Donaldson are facing these challenges in the market?
So we understand that because we're dealing with the complexity of the machines and because they cost so much, Giordano, we need to ensure that we provide a solution to the customer that can optimize the performance of the machine. And hence we are so dedicated to R&D, as you showed on your slides, and innovation. So we're constantly looking at technology so that we can provide our end users, our equipment manufacturers, with filtration systems that will contribute to the longevity of the machine life and hence saving your money. So we're constantly looking at new solutions to partner with our end users.
Oh, thank you. Ernest, I have a question for you as well.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about filtration as an investment. It's not a cost. We need to see this in the long term as a long view. How you as a distributors can really bring the value to the end users in this way. So in this matter, how you can help really to improve the total cost of ownership of the end users with you based on your experience.
Yeah, Giordano, thank you very much for that question. I think that's a very valid and very good question to ask. I think there's no customer site that is the same. I think there's no single solution that is the same. It is so important that we do get onto the customer site, have a look, as Bernadette has explained the situation. It is from an open breather to basically protecting that contamination to service intervals. So depending on the site condition, depending on the maintenance practices of the customer, and depending on if he has got well analysis on site or not, that will depend on the level of filtration we either suggest or add or alter. And then it could be as well that that customer might move from one site 50 kilometers away and those conditions do change. The harshness of application will change and you will then have to adjust. So I think to answer your question in a shorter period of time is that the best is to get in touch with us. Let's have a look. We go and have a look, visit the site personnel on site, see the conditions, and then come up with an idea with a solution on reducing the total operating costs on those machines.
That's great. Since I believe that most of the people, the attendees that are here as working now minings that are all over the Africa or many working sites, I would like to know how can we help all the working sites. So I mean, because I believe that we need to support them in each working site. How can we reach each working site and help them to reduce the total cost of ownership?
Well, I think it's to get involved and to understand, be on a be on a discussion like this, so that they can explain their best practices basically to us, and we determine basically if there's anything. First, present the world sample so that we can review it, and then see what filtration they're currently using and see if there's any advice that we can give them. So yeah, I think visit the website and have a look at what the information is there, in what particular condition you want us to focus on, and we can focus on that for you.
Okay, cool. Thanks for sharing. I don't see any questions in the chat. Okay. Okay, we have the chat here. Hi guys, was the principle of clean, protect, and polish explained, and the different items available in each phases? I believe that is for Bernadette.
Giordano, can you please repeat that question for me?
The question is if we explain the principle for clean, protect, and polish, and the different items available in each phase. So we have different items on our range to cover up this. Maybe you can cover that part better than me.
Well, that would be on our bulk filtration line. We basically have filters that are suitable for when you are receiving the fluid into the tank. We call this the clean section, where we provide our filtration assemblies or manifold. On the terms of our protecting, we're looking at our trap breathers on top of the tank. And then on the polishing side, we provide filters with finer media, because we need to ensure that we're providing cleaner fluid into our machines. In terms of the different types of filters, there are a few different variances, so you will have to reach out to your distributors to give you the different options as what we can provide on the receiving, the storage, as well as the dispensing side.
That's very good. You got good point, and you touch regarding the trap breather. Can you explain how important it's a trap breather to optimize a tank?
Exceptionally important, Giordano. It is, as I mentioned, it's one of the neglected parts of a hydraulic system, or also on a storage system. It is the first line of protection when it comes to preventing moisture and contaminant to getting into your machine, as well as when the machine is breathing in and out with temperature fluctuations. Breathers are exceptionally important. So it lowers the moisture getting into the machine, and it lowers the amount of particulate getting into the storage tank as well. So
And
they are very important.
yeah, thank you very much. Relating to this question and your answer, that was very good. Ernest,
Yes.
how often you have required from a customer side, from working side, from trap breather, for trap breather? I believe that nobody is looking for the trap breather instead to do that. Do you have some experience on that?
Yes, definitely. It's funny how you mention it, because about 2 weeks ago, I had a customer basically arriving at our counter. That was exactly, he has seen these trap breathers, but he really does not know what's the function of them and how often they need to be serviced. So yeah, I think people do not understand. Actually, it is not an advertisement of a blue Donaldson filtration on top. That is actually a critical part to keep that moisture out and make that system breathe. We explained to him as well. I think very critically what he asked is that what is the service level intervals on these, and we showed him that there's an indicator that will explain to you exactly when the life has been reached, and you have to replace that. So yeah, I think they walked away here with obviously having a standard operating procedure now on them, and actually adding them, which I think is going to really help what the one participant has just asked, to basically protect. So we clean as we put it in, you then protect that bulk fuel, and then once it's transferred into the machine, it's basically then polished. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Thank you very much. For the people that are interested to know more about trap filtration and our product range, just reach out our territory managers locally that are able to provide all the information related. So we have a last question, I believe, because then we need to close the hour. Is for Bernadette. Bernadette, you raised the point about compatibility between oil spec and filters type. Is there anything or caution that Donaldson has done to sensitize the market on this?
So in terms of the training that we provide in terms of compatibility with media and the type of fluid that you utilize on the site, Donaldson holds continuous training with our distributors, and our distributors in turn train the end users on the site. So
Yeah.
that is how we actually sensitize the market to this information.
Okay. Thank you very much. Shannon.
Thanks very much, Giordano. So very interesting questions. Thank you for everyone who participated. And that does bring us to the end of the webinar. Thank you to Bernadette van Wyk, Giordano Trabucco, and Ernest Heather for an interesting discussion. Pardon me. Thank you to the attendees also for taking the time to join us for this discussion on optimizing hydraulic performance for demanding mining conditions. If you're interested in hearing more about Donaldson, please visit their website at www.donaldson.com, For over 100 years, Donaldson has been solving customers' complex filtration needs and is today one of the largest providers of unique filtration technologies and high-quality filters and parts. The recording of today's webinar will be made available to all stakeholders, and if you have any additional questions, please do be in touch with us. You can reach us at shannon@creamermedia.co.za. And with that, I'd like to thank you for your time and goodbye.
Thank you very much all again.